Yeah.
All right, we're joined today by Oran Huff, head coach Mike Mendoza, and Gus Dalton, coach. Heading into the regional tournament this weekend, kind of give us just a brief outlook on what to expect. What can fans expect from the regional tournament?
Yeah, it's a tough tournament. I think, it's in Gunnison this year, so there's some altitude that I think matters for some of those matches and for some of those teams. Hopefully, maybe less for us, but it's going to be a tough tournament. It's where you qualify for nationals, and we're just getting ready to compete.
Oran and Gus, both of you guys, returning national qualifiers, wrestled really well last year in this tournament in Pueblo. What can you carry as veterans into this year's tournament that you can take from last year, roll it into this year, and find some success?
I think, experience. Like, we've been in this tournament before, so I think that's an advantage that we definitely have, having been in this environment before. But it's a tough tournament, so it's every year's a little different, like different venue, different area, sometimes different guys. So coming in there ready to wrestle, being excited to wrestle.
Definitely, like Oran said, with the experience and just knowing what it takes to get it done. Like, regionals is a whole different beast. Like, there's a lot more competition. There's a lot more grit that it takes to qualify for that national tournament. I mean, we know what it takes to get there, and so we know it needs to take this year to get it done as well.
And Coach mentioned it is in Gunnison, and altitude could play a factor. Do you guys feel like that could play into your advantage?
With some of the California teams coming in, like, it'll definitely impact them. Like, we've wrestled there back in late November, early December. We wrestled there in January, so like, we know what it is. Like, we've dealt with it, and we were able to enjoy the Tracy board duels and like really experience it there. So I think it'll benefit us to just be able to say we've been in that environment before, but then when it comes down to the other teams, like, it definitely be an impact for them. So.
Yeah, I think during the chase board duels, I didn't feel it as much, and I try to have that not in the forefront of my mind, like, I'm tired and like altitude. So I don't think the altitude will be too much of a factor for most of us. Like, we're an in shape team. I think we're going to go out there and wrestle hard, and I don't think it'll affect us too bad.
Coach, in between the Western duel and now, we had the all RMAC teams come out. You had Tyler Doyle and Gabe Carranza both get all RMAC first team honors. Just talk about how their season and what what it's like to have two guys in the back end of your lineup during the dual season that were the best in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, it's great having, I think, guys strong in the latter half of the team, line up, because. And they did a great job handling it, like knowing that when you get to the end, they know what the score is. They know they're coming up. They know that their match is going to have an impact on the team for a duel, right? And so having those guys go out and really you want them to just go out and wrestle like you wrestle, but having that added part is going to be a little bit of pressure no matter what type of kid it is. So like, I think it's good for them. I think that little bit of going out there and having an impact and being able to focus on just their wrestling and not letting what they need to do impact their wrestling, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, awesome for Doyle and Gabriel, who've had great seasons and are getting better as the season has gone on. So yeah, excited for them and excited for their regional tournament coming up.
See, guys, the regional, I mean, it's, what a grind it is on that long day. What do you guys try to do, like, maybe between matches to conserve energy? And, obviously early on, you would like to get some first period pins or something like that to conserve your bodies. But what do you do between matches to kind of keep yourselves fresh?
I typically just try to drink a lot of water, and after each match, try to get something to eat. Like, it can be hard to eat after matches because like your stomach's upset or something. So definitely trying to get some form of energy in, like some sort of food in, and then like drinking a lot of water throughout the day will definitely help recovery. That's typically what I do.
Yeah, definitely the same thing. Just making sure that you're constantly replenishing your body. Like being only a 1-day tournament definitely helps because you're not worried about weight cut. You're not worried about having to make weight the second day +1 and whatnot. But one thing for me is just making sure that you never sit down for too long because sitting in those bleachers, like you just tighten up. So the next match, it'll be harder to get warmed up again. And it's just making sure that you're always staying loose. You're always staying limber, but we're also there as a team, so you're always there cheering on the other guys. Like you're not just sitting in the bleachers taking a nap before your next match. And so being able to stay limber and just ready to go for the next one is the biggest thing. So,
Are you guys that are more? I'm going to go watch my teammates on a match, or do you want to go scout the guy who you might be wrestling later on, or you do a little bit of both?
I try to focus more on my teammates because, I mean, I'm sure I know the guy that I'm wrestling next. I know what he does. He knows what I do. So worrying too much about it just makes me wrestle it beforehand, just mentally exhausts me. So I try not to think about it until I'm pulling the straps back up and getting ready for that next match. So I just try to focus on the recovering, focus on how I can best prepare for that match, and then focus on my teammates and helping them.
I try to watch my teammates more. Like I know what the guy's gonna do. Like Gus said, I don't have to scout. I try to focus more on my wrestling, like what I'm gonna do, so I can dictate. But definitely like, go out and watching the teammates. Like you can get warmed up. You can start jumping around and you get fired up.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to be laying down taking a nap, right?
No, on your feet, jumping around, like throwing your hands up, all of it.
Yeah. And Coach, I mean, obviously you've got a team that up and down, you can get a lot of guys there. And do you ever go in with, okay, we need this many guys to push through, or we'll take everybody we can get?
I think I mean, we're doing seating right now. So you see where guys are seated to go, and guys are outside of that top 3 where they need to go. And that really, for us, it's a tournament. We're going to go compete. And, these 2 guys here weren't seated to go last year. It doesn't matter. And they know that going into this weekend and even if you're seated to go, like you just don't make a bigger deal of it. And it's really easy to do that. I mean, these guys want to punch their ticket to nationals, but they know, like, don't put that on you. Like, go out there and just wrestle your match and focus on that. And the punching the ticket part, like, that happens with your best wrestling. So I think, going in this weekend, I mean, just focus on these guys and their wrestling rather than how many guys we're going to get through. We'll let that play out however it plays out, but these guys are ready, they're excited, and that's important going into this weekend.
The regional is kind of interesting in that you have all the RMAC schools together, but then a few schools that you haven't seen in a duel. So you kind of got about half that you might have faced through the season, and the other half you haven't. Is there kind of a preference on, hey, I'd like to see somebody new out of the gate, or is it like to see somebody I already wrestled, or does it really matter to you at that perspective?
It doesn't really matter to me. I'm gonna go out there and just wrestle whoever steps on that mat. Whatever 33-pounder wants to wrestle, I'm gonna be ready.
Same here. Like that tournament can be seeded so many different ways with so many different matchups right off the bat, and like by the end of the day, I'll wrestle a bunch of different competition, and so I really try not to think about who I'm gonna wrestle first versus last. So,
all right, we're gonna close this out with the rapid fire this or that type of questions for question of the week this week. So we'll start off with sweet or salty?
Sweet.
I gotta say both, but I'm gonna go with sweet.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot.
Cup or cone?
Cone.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Ooh, cake.
And then last one, cat or dog?
Dog.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Good luck this weekend.
No question. Those are easy ones.
All the easy ones.